So nobody really thinks about that 80-20 rule in healthcare. And if you're not familiar with the 80-20 rule, the 80-20 rule is 20% of your workers are going to do 80% of the work. And unfortunately, that it can foster a lot of resentment if you do not remedy it or handle it properly. And whether that means you're giving the same raise across the board, and I know sometimes you have to. And maybe you're treating everybody with the same rules. But that 20%, they see it. They see that person who is slacking off. They see that person who spent their entire shift shopping on Amazon. Trust me, they see it. And they know, and they assume you see it. Maybe you don't. And maybe you've been told, and maybe you've said something to that person, but you know what? Maybe not. They feel like nothing's being done and perhaps nothing's changed. And what happens with that 20% is they get burnout. And if you have 6 people and one of those people is working their tail off, or maybe 2, they get tired. Maybe you write them up because they were late 3 times, and so was the person who slacks off all the time. But the person who is your 20%er who does most of your work, she is working through lunch. Maybe she's always staying late, but the other person doesn't. So they don't think that's fair. But that 20%, they're dedicated. And they'll be dedicated until they can't be dedicated anymore. They will come to you. And if they feel like nothing's being done, they'll leave. And then you know what happens? You've lost someone who is exceptional. Those are the people you want on your team. They care. They're going to do right by those patients. Every time. I've seen it in a lot of practices. I've had it happen to me. The people that they give their heart and soul into their jobs. Maybe they don't follow all the rules. Steve Jobs said that 20% is usually your hardest group to manage, because those are your innovators. They're not going to follow all your rules. They're going to look at different ways to do things. And you know what? They're going to bring new energy to your practice. But if you hold them back and hold them to maybe a standard that isn't fair, or maybe that 20% is showing up those other 6 people or other members on your team. You know what happens then? They are going to get scrutinized, and every single mistake they make is going to come to your attention. Because those underperformers, that 20%er is making them look bad. So how do you fix that? There's a few ways you can go about it. You could individually talk to all those 80%. But unfortunately, you probably won't know this is happening until it's too late. Because that 20%er is going to feel like they're being picked on, they're not valued. What they're doing is being overlooked. Let me help you with that. Because you're all a team. And you're all on the same team. And these things can be fixed. You just have to know how to do it. I will be offering a whole seminar on this online, but I also offer online consulting on this. And what I do is I actually will meet with the office manager, all your clinical managers, the doctors, and then I want to meet with every other of all your staff members individually to see, what's really going on. what everybody feels, and because perception is reality. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks.